See, money laundering has to do with the tracing of money. So necessarily one has to involve the entire commercial architecture of the country and create some kind of network that causes them to report to each other and for their transactions to be monitored by a body. That body that monitors it is called a Financial Intelligence Unit. So it's a complicated piece of legislation. So it took some time to draft. We completed the draft of it and laid it in the Parliament in April 2013. Now this is not an ordinary bill. This is a bill that if we do not pass it, sanctions will flow. I will deal with the sanctions a little later. But what is important is that it is a discharge of Guyana, discharge by Guyana of international obligations. So this is not something internal to Guyana. This is not a bill that the government concoct or I as Attorney General sat down in this office and drafted. This is a bill that was given to us by the international regulatory agencies with instructions to pass it. Though one may argue that we are a sovereign state and we are an independent state and that we can determine our own destiny, those are very high-sounding ideals for one to espouse, but in today's world, you live in a world that is global and that is one village. And what happens in one country affects the other. And therefore, countries exercise certain degree of regulation over others. That's the reality of today's world. And when you don't comply with guidelines and policies given to you, then sanctions follow. And that is the genesis and the basis of this bill. We laid it in the Parliament with all of that being explained, and that if we don't pass it, serious sanctions will flow to Guyana as a country and to the people of Guyana if that bill is not passed. The opposition, the Alliance for Change, they said that they have no problem with the bill, that they want a procurement commission. We explained to them, we said, look, you will get a procurement commission. That procurement commission requires a constitutional process. It cannot happen by the wish of a wand. It has to go through a process that requires 2/3 support of all parliamentarians. So it includes the APNU, it includes the government, the PPP, and it includes the AFC itself. We will do that. We are committed to it. It is us, the PPP government, that created the law for the creation of the Procurement Commission. So there's no ifs or buts about that. But this is not an issue that should be tied to anything else. This is an issue that should be passed as a matter of national interest, national importance. They rejected that. They keep saying that they want their Procurement Commission.